are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. Ready to get us started, Rodrigo Blankenship. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
When you're on the road, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake that brings the crowd into it. Now you're not just battling your opponent, you're battling yourself as well.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
There to stop him, Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will go to Henry out wide. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. I imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And some space here. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor,
35 yards.
And the Colts are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This one fielded at the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchup.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
On second down, it's Taylor.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor,
his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list.
And the Colts have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now 14-0.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember, last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, here's Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman.
Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines.
.35 yards that time on the punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Second down, another run with Taylor. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Now Jones. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Returnable for Grant. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Brandon Stevens. And the Colts are going to take... the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On the counter, it's Taylor.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
A nice run leaves them just inches from a first. Could they possibly be tempted to try this on 4th and about a foot?
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor.
And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
130 yards rushing for him in his first half as he is looking in midseason form here in the opener.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Again, it's Taylor.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Off the option, here's Taylor.
And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
They'll throw now on the final play. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing Jones. Campbell making the catch. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 166 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a give to Taylor. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. They got a yard on first, 2 on second, and 3 here on third.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They run once more with Taylor.
They find some open field here. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor with now 3 week-one touchdowns. And the Colts are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Back to throw now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
He's got the hook up with Diggs.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on E. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll look to throw again. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll set up a throw. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 26 yards. And the Colts are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to have a short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. On the handoff, this is Taylor. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
4 yards the pickup, first down. On the handoff, Taylor. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The give to Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Colts continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield. If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Running left, Taylor.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, CD, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the...
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I'm going to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Here's Taylor. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll try the left side with Taylor.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards away right there. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Taylor. And some room to roam now. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. And they're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Colts come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over.